It is actually their legal responsibility, but again, it has to be a collaborative partnership within government entities like the Ministry of Youth. You understand? The Ministry of Youth, in as much as this they do directly with us as youth.
Because this is a constituency they affect.
Now them it they affect. I mean, if in as much as NDMA not get the kind capacity right now, the Ministry of Youth gets a very strong relationship with donor partners then. For make sure say at least they form partnership or collaboration with NDMA for write simple or constructive project and advocate say this now the life of young people. The life of young people matter. How can they come together, partner, and then create huge amount of advocacy in the area of fighting this kush? And then again, we do not have policies, we do not actually have constitutions or acts that protect some of these avenues for us as youth. I not think say the Ministry of Youth will really demonstrate the actions of the youth policies rather than we having an act that protects us as young people. In case some of them think they, we have to also look at the legal framework. The legal framework also is very important. We do not.
How do you think? I mean, everybody they say let's go after suppliers. Let's go after suppliers. Mm-hmm. How you think, say, government, police, and everybody as well, we're responsible approach that particular scenario there?
One call away makes something very simple. When Coco Samba begin they go out of the blow in this country, we get government institutions the way put press release clearly and disclaimer saying it's not good.
That was pharmacy board.
Yes. So when they do that, they Coco Samba be there around 25,000, 20,000, 30,000. You find out say today they say Coco Samba 5,000 you understand? Because the legal institution we're responsible for that, and they already make a disclaimer. Say this one here not good and we're not even aware about it. So this they tell you say government institutions then form a partnership communique. You understand? A working communique where they make sure say that everybody gets back on its toes for first defect.
Okay.
And again create a public disclaimer. Government for make them very clear that they don't raise war against kush.
And in a country like Liberia, we get similar problem in January. Mm-hmm. The new president declare this as a public health emergency. Do you think this is a road we can take?
This is a road we can take. Like I said, it is the responsibility of government institutions, in as much as we, as normal individual, they fight for make this thing go before, but the responsibility also they now the shoulder of government, more especially the Ministry of Youth, the NDMA, and the Youth Commission, for make sure say they all come together. If they're able to put something together and present unto His Excellency, I am sure His Excellency can act on it. Because inside no one foresee, we the youths them, they go so on the streets that kind of way they.
Okay.
Every other we feature that they go down the drain. No!
Kellam, quickly reason where some of them they give you for even becoming an addict in the first place.
Good morning at the Radio Land. Of course, I'm a youth ambassador, Children Moseray. First hand, I don't witness the actions and the realities around youth them where they involve themselves into drugs because of wide range of experience. If you realize video the way they go around and documentary where I go to recently in a bay and try for release them and discuss with them, get a food with them and try for ask them waiting at some of the problem. Because if we want to fight drugs in a salon, we therefore also make sure say we understand whose side the problem come on. With few regards and people they were interviewing that drugs addicts them. A few of them, one of them tell me say in a driver. He say it's a bit drive and na license get right now. And so therefore it be influenced by a friend. After we then rebel from whose side they work or whatnot. I say, what do you do? And then maybe therefore tell me actually say not to like it be do anything bad, but now because in license they expire in company and they look come one kind of way. So one of the addicts around drugs now the influence of the bad friends them again
peer influence.
The peer influence. Now one of the things that the way maybe say young people they go through that kind of struggle. Again, the other point where they raise is most times young people who are involved into drugs feel left out. They feel like the society will no longer accommodate them to be part of the society. So they feel say they only defend happiness within that circle of being who they are at that point in time.
So, I mean, waiting this all they communicate is we as young people, we the advocate them, every other person out there there is need for transformation. We have to transform these minds. I mean, if we all as young people are always they say this, they involve ourselves into drugs addiction, how would the next generation go feel like? You know, how will next ministers then go feel like if everybody become a drugs addict? So where are some of the youths that will say, Salon need a change, and we need to make sure, say, the narrative change. I mean, they are taking it. Of course, they have their own little concerns, their own little points, and their own little, perhaps, things the way they feel say, they make that they involve into drugs. But again, I am not too focusing on what exactly they make them involve into drugs. My focus, and every other person focus who they call on, how can we remove them from this? But how can we utilize their skills?
Isn't it that if we not address then the root cause of this, because this is a social problem, if we not address the root cause, that even if we pull and and things and we they talk about exclusion, marginalization, where some they feel, they might just get back there, even if we pull and they go end up go the back all over again.
So again, that is where the government's coming. Drugs addiction, only focus on then being marginalized. Mind you, it also has to do with unemployment around youth. If we are taking this youth from the street, we really, some of them very skillful, you understand, some of them very skillful, some of them the way they learn skills, some of them the way they're really ready for transform. But again, we all have to come together to see our best, even when we don't pull them day. We try to make sure say they get something for do, then get orientation, then get think about for no say there is better life out there than this kush way than they take. You understand? I mean, the society have to accommodate them and make them feel like. I tell the other one, I say if I go recommend you, I say in a contract, in the bill, I say if I go recommend you in a person inside, you know, go tip somebody in cement, and he say no sir, he say I'm not going to do that one day. I mean, I'm in touch with them, trying to have a database of how can I connect them with people that can help them. Because I tell them, say, in as much as you involve into drugs, there's every possibility that anybody not they trust you for work now in place. Because if you bring you can work, you go thief immaterial then. I say, so how you feel say you go change that narrative there? And the person be there for, they all be there for tell me say they can change. And again, it has to do with high monitoring. If we really want to accept them in our society as young people, they are the future. We are the future.
And let me come to you, Kala, because this is the point as well. The kush left them. They want more because they want to get back in that particular state.
Well, let me tell you something, my brother. That is where the community, the society, and entities comes in. How can we make sure so we accommodate them for feel part of the society? Like you mentioned, most of them they feel too comfortable and happy, where then they into the addict. It just feel like where you they grab up now us. You get two parents. You have your mom, you have your dad, but you get this papaya as you come over come, everybody they hide. And nobody no one lay see and certain money, not so. But everybody therefore go near the mama because the mama now they give them open hand and accommodations. So waiting this they illustrate is in as much as then youth they are, they really involve into themselves into this and they feel comfortable about them. What we have to do as a nation and young people, I am looking at the future. I am looking at the future of us as young people. Now this now me concern. Again, we have to create every other avenue required to make sure we create the awareness, to make sure we discourage the one way they bring the push of itself in this country. We also need to make sure, say, we create an opportunity or an environment for these young folks, those that do not have skills to learn. We make sure, say, we give them that induction for no, say, there are skills out there to learn. There's better life out there to learn. This is not about how comfortable they feel taking the drugs. It's about us fighting, creating the awareness like communities have started doing. They make sure, then say they arrest the one the way they sell them. This is a national fight. Imagine them go bail 20, 30, 40 youths them for day. Sierra Leone is going down the drain. The future of Sierra Leone is us as young people.
And it goes back to a very important point where you raise about that social responsibility that we all have to collaborate in that particular fight. What you make of what communities are doing to some of these addicts, where they hold them, then creep their head, then watch them, humiliate them in public? Surely this is something where, at the very least, they raise some eyebrows.
All right. When you look at that in the human rights angle, some community aspect might be wrong, but serving as a patriot that you want to change the narrative of young people, most of them people here where they go do that, they not to let them, they just humiliate them because they are not happy seeing them doing it, because they're not happy for see the life of other Kumbra and young Peking, they na street the purge. Now that make most of them they do it. But when you look at the legal aspect of it, human rights angle, they might be wrong. But again, if we want to deliver this country from this current situation, it is also important that everybody, every citizen, take the responsibility for make we fight against drugs abuse in this country, for make we fight against kush in this country. Because now we all responsibility. Imagine if we have half of this country population involved into drugs addicts. Waiting with the prepare for the next generation. How we want the next youth them for FIBA.
And Kela, this is a country on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. And now, this morning we talk about the solutions that we could actually develop in local communities them really for tackle kush. And it brings me back to this point, Moseray, where there is a concern that, okay, security officials are stepping up their efforts. But when you see videos or pictures of police or military men themselves they high on the same substance, then it worry we all, because now they're supposed for them at the front line for the tackle this.
That is why I said the fights against kush. Now everybody in responsibility. Previously, we just the fee say now the youths them normal, they go down the drain. Imagine if your security or your personal security is on duty, where you're supposed to guide and protect you, then somebody can't meet them the north, or something happened that has a threat to your job or your life. But because of in circumstance where they at that point in time, and not even defend or protect you. So that is why the fight against drugs and kush now a national fight. Again, this brings me back to where you talk about the community people involving themselves into really curbing this out of their community. It has to do with human rights violation, but again, their efforts is needed in the fight against this kush. So, imagine military officers, police officers being involved, whether in a uniform then well, whether they are not officers, whether they are legal officers, we do not know. I do not want to get into that too much. But again, this is a call for attention. It is very alarming that we all, Salon in better one day now we all earn. So therefore, push now one thing that they want to put this country in future down. So now we not only therefore just make sure so we create the awareness, we also therefore make sure say we even begin fetch the one the way they sell them and bring them come.
Okay, and this is the thing as well. So there is this debate about supply and demand. Usa, if you to say government or we all focus with effort right now, do we go after the suppliers or we try for curb the demand?
So in economics, when you shorten the supply or when you lock the supply, the demand they become limited. You understand? So therefore, I still wonder why I'm not really putting blame or casting blame on government entities. But I still wonder waiting the Ministry of Youth they do. In as much as this is the responsibility of the Sierra Leone Police and the NDMA, you understand, which is the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, it is also the responsibility of the Ministry of Youth or all youth apparatus for come together and make sure say at least whether funds no they, but let we see effort for them say then said they have for push this facts go before. But up till now, we have not even seen any press release or any statement or any movement or actions with my eye coming from them. This is very, very important. This is a national call. Again, back to your question where you just to tell me just now about supply and demand. we have to make sure that whatever avenue this source here they come up from, as everybody in concern, everybody when a citizen of this country, for make sure we find way for stop the supply chain.
In fact, speaking about the Ministry of Youth, the Minister of Youth tweeted over the weekend, and this is a tweet where some people raise eyebrows about his tweet and the way how he puts them is that they say in belief say we don't see videos of victims being paid to smoke and say negative things for media attention. They say why they condemn those insensitive acts. They say there are structures across the country where the government they use for response to this particular crisis. When you see a message like that from the Minister of Youth, what does that tell you?
This is very simple. I'm a youth advocate, and no need for really look at how people feel. It is about us. It is about our future. It is about the nation in development. This message they go directly to the Minister of Youth. When President Bio appointed you as Minister of Youth, the responsibility of every young person in this country, then on your shoulder for provide leadership. So therefore, I call on the Minister of Youth for work along collaboratively, if not before or if not, you understand, with every other apparatus who President Bio appoint at the youth sector. I mean, he has to open door and leadership quality for make not to in one day able fetch youth business in this country. Let somebody not pull close the fetch for youth business. If you say one can pull your office na your hand. Oh no! It pleases His Excellency to appoint you. So nobody know they pull the job na your hand where you get so far. But open a door of policy, youth business na salona. Everybody in business. Youth, the fetch for youth business in this country, now everybody in business. So you are not able to fetch them. So therefore, if it not be done, they happen before. Because His Excellency has really appointed a lot of young people, even at the youth circle. We now have the youth advisor, the youth employment directorate. But again, the minister himself has to open hand to work with these key apparatus. Make enough feedback like they can for campaign in office now. I mean, he is the father for youth. In as much as His Excellency is in charge of every youth actors in this country, but President Bio believed in us so much for appointing him as youth minister. So therefore, enough for really look at one side of youth sector. He has to open his hands for partnership, collaboration for every sectors of youth development. Nobody is taking your job from you.
Keller, about this part.